Peace, peace, peace. Welcome to the Scrap and Roll MMA podcast. Today we're doing the Sunday Hangover edition. I'm your host, Sky. That's your host, CJ. We are back. And so for the Hangover edition, we just basically going over the pay-per-views, right? But we are going to start with ONE FC because your boy CJ was there. Him and the whole Casual Gang family was there. How was it?
I'm gonna say this. I've been to a couple events in my lifetime, 2 Strikeforce, one UFC, one Bellator. This is by far the best event that I've ever been to. The production was great. The crowd was amazing. I was talking to my girl and I was like, you can tell these fans were here, not casual fans, just to go into in the arena. The people who are around me were amazing. The event was amazing. We took pictures with fighters. It was the best thing that I've been to in a long time. And shout out to the MMA monster on TikTok. That's my brother for life. We met up, we linked up, we had some drinks, and it was fun. Shout out to the boisterous boy Suni. Watch this. We're gonna link up again, bro. I appreciate you for taking your time out with us.
Nice. I mean, that's dope. Like, especially when you start a community, whether it's on TikTok, Instagram, Discord, whatever it is, you start a community, and then when you travel, you get to go out and meet these people like in real life. And don't forget, people will see you in real life. Like, a lot of y'all be on here just talking wild and reckless, saying anything. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. But yeah, that's super dope. How did you feel about the whole, as far as the fights? Because when I was watching one, I was like, oh, they was banging.
It was amazing. It was great from the start to the finish. And I know a lot of people had kind of not problems with the DJ fight, but in the arena, it felt a lot different than probably watching it on TV. I had to come back and watch it again. I enjoyed it again. Like, we're going to talk about Aljo and Henry. I felt like it was a high level fight that DJ did what he had to do to win the fight. So that's the thing too. In the arena, one pumps out like a heartbeat. I don't know if you guys can hear it on the TV, but in the arena, it's like a heartbeat pumping. Boom, boom.
Really?
Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, so I think that puts more pressure on the fighters to go out there. It's amazing. I loved it. I loved it from the top to the bottom. It was great. Mo got to hold the championship belt. We took pictures with Superleg. It was just, man, it was amazing. We loved it.
That's dope. So I didn't hear a lot that people were upset about the fight, but I also wasn't on social media that night. I watched the fight and then I went straight into an interview with this fighter, so I didn't get a chance to see what was going on with the thing. I mean, I liked it. I thought that DJ did what he had to do. I mean, Adriano is a tough opponent. He was bigger than him. At any point, they had both knocked each other out. You know what I mean? I think sometimes fans don't necessarily appreciate the fact that hey, they're in there with this person. They could be laid out. They could have life-altering injuries, you know what I mean? And when you know that both of you guys have the power like that, sometimes it just becomes the battle of skills. And I felt like DJ was clearly more skilled. I felt like he did what he was supposed to do. It's not like it was boring to me. It was just sometimes when you get two people who are exceptionally skilled, it's not this crazy exciting fight like that because, it's not like this is Nate the Train. Nate is these people who haven't reached this level and whose skills may not necessarily be there, they're going to leave it all out there, right? They're going to do crazy shit. But the people who, are exceptionally skilled, they're going to stay tactical because they don't want to end up getting caught.
Exactly what you said. It was a tactical fight by DJ. You can tell his skill level is just great. His fight IQ was amazing, and he did, like I said, he did what he had to do to win the fight. He clinched up through beautiful knees in the body, and shout out to the people who were around me. We kept scoring in there. What you had it. I have it 1-0 DJ, 2-0 DJ. So it was a great night. Shout out to Sage Northcutt getting a win. Oh, and we got to meet him. He signed my sweater.
Nice.
The nicest human being on this planet. Mikey Muschietti, another nicest human being on this planet. Like I said, all in all, that weekend, those 2 days that we were there were super highlight for us, man. The people were amazing. Everybody was nice. I didn't see no drama or nothing in the building. The production, Sky, the production is amazing. The lights and the fireworks and all of that makes I'd be like, man, these other promotions, they better start stepping up. That's all I gotta say. Just slightly a little bit more. They gotta put a little bit more sauce on a food, if you feel me.
Right. So you like the whole like Japanese traditional walkout of like the big stage and walking down the.
Yeah, I love that so much because I've been watching since Pride and like Dream FC, and they're everything's so big and boisterous. I love that kind of shit. If you're gonna spend a lot of money, give me a whole show, please. A
Right.
whole show. Make it an event. Make it an event. And I feel like it's super like fan friendly for people who are gonna be in there watching.
Mm-hmm.
But the fights they lived up to it as well. Ratang was amazing,
Yeah, he
and it's like
was.
the things that they did before. So we got to go to the weigh-ins, the ceremonial weigh-ins. We're in the front row. We met Herb Dean. Um, they like cater to the fans a lot, if you get what I'm saying. And right
Yeah.
after that, we had the meet and greet. So that's where we got to meet Sage, and Ty Rutello. He was amazing. We met Cade Rutello. We talked to him about my son doing jujitsu. He was like, "Yeah, man, hit me up to see if we can get a session one time down in San Diego." So it was this like it was a high amazing event for us.
Nice. Nice. Um, yeah, I thought that it was great. I'm sure it had a lot of eyeballs on it because it was here in the U.S. And people were pretty much watching it. Yeah, I think one is as far as getting like having the potential to become like at least a competitor with the UFC. I think they're the highest up there because, as we talked about, Bellator is kind of just like, kind of just dropping the ball. And then PFL is cool, but like I said, when I went to PFL, it was dead in there. Like there were so many empty seats. They couldn't sell out that little bitty arena.
Wow.
And so I don't know. There's some type of disconnect that's happening there, and the
Yeah.
tickets were cheap, but and some were the one tickets, like they weren't like crazy expensive. But they packed that out. They were able to sell that. Of course, you got DJ in there. But how was it when when they transitioned to just like because they had two grappling only matches? Like what was the energy like while that was going on?
It was in the building. It was amazing,
Mm-hmm.
especially the Mikey fight. It was
Mm-hmm.
amazing. I think because, like I said again, everybody in there are fans of the sport, so it's not like a casual event where they're watching. They're like, "Oh, this is just boring." Everybody was in there cheering when the transition happened. When Ty was going at it against RDR, and he was, that one was a little bit more lackluster, but it was a fun fight for everybody in there. um the crowd was hyped, and they were in there since the beginning of the line was around the building to get in there. And as
Nice.
soon as we got in there, it was packed from the start to the finish. It was packed out. So that was amazing. And the arena wasn't like super huge, at least around 20,000. If you look around, they give you lights on. And hey, y'all go follow me on TikTok. I'm gonna probably be doing a like a little giveaway or some shit. They give you little wristbands that light up and stuff.
Nice.
So I'm gonna do a giveaway and maybe some other little stuff too. And I gotta send you one too, Sky. So you're gonna have to send me your address later on. But
Yeah.
yeah, man. This all in all, I loved it, and I want them to. I talked to one of the, I don't know what he was, a producer or something. I was like, if you guys come to San Diego, you guys will probably sell out here as well.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. So yeah, shout out to one. That was I thought it was a great performance. Like I feel like all the fights were finishes except for there was like obviously
BJ's
the grappling that went to decision
and
and
ties.
yeah, and ties. And there was one like on like the undercard, like a decision. But besides
Mhm.
that, they were all finishes.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was good. And then Saturday night rolls around and we had UFC 288. Now let me tell you, I wasn't too crazy about seeing UFC 288. Like, I mean, I watched it from the top to the bottom, but
Mhm.
we just weren't that hyped. Like, the card wasn't as stacked as it should have been. But, this is the Sunday hangover. This is not the regular podcast, so we ain't gonna go through and talk about all the rest of the shit. We're gonna get straight to the bullshit because y'all know what y'all came here for. Now, first off, Phil Haas, wake the fuck up.
He's like me because I'm tired as shit. Sleep, sleep. And the thing is, what we always say, it's all good till it ain't. He was doing good, and now he ain't.
It's all good till it ain't. I mean, the way he fell was scary. It was just like,
Yeah.
oh man. That was crazy. Your boy Parker Porter and Braxton, like he blew his load on that first, like the first half of the round. He came out.
Where's Jason?
Yeah, man. I mean, I don't know what happened there. But I thought, what I thought was super interesting was how much they were booing Verna Jandaroba. I can't say her name exactly right. I'm like, hey, she was doing what she was supposed to do. She was down there. She was out wrestling her. She was putting, she was damaging. She was throwing blows, elbows, like, the crowd. Let's talk about the crowd, like, because when you talk about ONE FC, like, it seemed like the crowd was, like you said, knowledgeable. Everybody knew what was going on. Meanwhile, at the UFC, these fans are just biased. Like they don't give a fuck. They don't care how good you are, what you doing that's doing well. If they don't like you, they gonna boo you. Like after Ikram beat, knocked out Phil, they were still booing him. And it's just like, just because he's Russian, like, stop this. Y'all gotta stop that. Like, give these people their respect. Like,
that's
it's crazy.
That's all I be asking. With people that be in my gang, shit, just give people respect. And I don't like certain fighters, but I will give them the respect, man. You go out and put on a good show and be like, hey, that was an amazing fight that you did.
Right.
And plain and simple, man. Just give respect, bro. That's it.
Who did you think won the Chaos versus Rolando fight?
That was a close fight. I think what's his name? What's his last name? Can you say it again? The Badoa. I think he kind of edged it out at the end, but yeah, that was a close fight. Chaos started getting sloppy, and he was just throwing hard everywhere. Pause. Yeah, but that was a toss-up type of fight to me. I didn't really give a fuck. It was close.
I really felt like when I watched it, I felt like Chaos won the first 2 rounds, and but they was extremely close. It was extremely close, but I did feel like Chaos won the fight. And like even when like right now I'm looking at the stats.
Yeah, what's the stats on there?
Yeah, let me pull it up. So I'm looking at the stats on that, and Chaos won. So in the first round for significant strikes, it was 44 and 44. For total strikes, it was 45 and 45. Like literally split down the middle. Chaos had a little bit of control time in that round of 48 seconds. Then round number 2, Chaos landed 39 significance. DeBoya landed 40. And total strikes 39 and 40 as well. So literally 1 strike difference. Chaos had 18 seconds of control time in that. Then the third round is obviously Bedoya came out there to really try to get it done. He outlanded him for sure, 65 to 47. And they had the same amount of control time. So that's why I gave Bedoya the obviously the third round. But yeah, I thought that the first 2 rounds
was a toss-up fight. Yeah,
it really was. Like had they given it to Bedoya, I wouldn't have been like, oh, what the hell? I would have been like, oh, okay, yeah, it was a close fight. And he did start to look real sloppy.
I think Chaos was hitting him with bigger shots, like because he was just coming down, boom, 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 coming down with bigger shots. Bedoya was a little bit more controlled in his striking and better jabs.
Right.
Like you said, damn, them motherfucking numbers. I didn't know the numbers was that damn close. That's crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, spot on.
Yeah, shout out to your boy Kennedy Nzechukwu.
Yes,
I was there at that last fight where we were supposed to be Derek Lewis, and then his mom passed away that same night that he was fighting. So it was good to see him back. He looked good. That was a barn burner. Like Derek, Devin Clark came out and was putting it on him. Then he came back. I was like, shit, somebody gonna go to sleep. I didn't know who it was gonna be, but that guillotine was disgusting,
nasty. I really like him too. I like Kennedy. He's so nice, big, gentle giant.
I do like that, but you know how I feel about the people who come in and they just super nice like that. Because you could be nice, you could be a nice, good person, but when somebody
you're not gonna get no pops.
When they ask you who do you want to fight next, you gotta have somebody. You can't do the you can say, hey, respectfully, I really like this person's skill set and I'd love to challenge myself against you. That's fine. You can stay respectful. You don't have to be disrespectful, but you gotta have somebody, or else you keep getting passed up, by everybody else who's calling people out. Call somebody out and
I would like to share the octagon with you. It'll be this. Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, but so he can get inside there in the top 15. And then if y'all recall on last week's podcast, Jace was like, "Oh, if you like Matt Favela so bad, take him." I said, "Fuck it, I'll take him. Like, I'll roll with the steamroller." Hey, he did. We have a group chat. He didn't text back, did he?
Jace I don't think he be getting our text, man. And
No,
I think I picked Dober, right? I probably picked Dober, but I really fuck with the steamroller. I like the steamroller a lot, you know. But shout out to Hey Jive too on TikTok. I think it's his fault. He made a video of he made a video about Drew Dober's chin not being cracked, and look what the fuck happened. Hey, y'all be cursing these fighters, y'all.
Hey. Did you feel like it was an early stoppage?
Nah, bro was out. Hell nah.
Yeah,
he was out. His eyes rolled back in his head, and I think when they stopped it, he came back too, and he didn't really know where he was. And he thought he was still in the fight. Nah, he was not in the fight no more, man.
Yeah, people was trying to say it was an early stoppage. I was like, what y'all want that man to be like concussed on the ground? Yeah. Like, hey, Favola went out there, got it done. I mean, you know, it was a good fight leading up to that. You knew that somebody was gonna get hurt for sure.
Yeah, he looked great too.
Yeah, shout out to the steamroller. Chrome Gracie, please stop.
Yeah,
that's all we're gonna say about that. Like, please stop, because that wasn't it. Diego Lopez is the star of the night. I don't care. That man is MVP. Hey, we should start doing that. MVP of the night.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. We can do that.
Let's start doing that, because this kid right here coming in 5-day notice, going up against Mozart, who's just like a killer, unbeaten from Russia. Diego, if he had a full fight camp, I think he wins that fight.
I think so too, because you could see his gas started going out just a little bit. But that kid did not give up, not one at all. A lot of people will get into those bad positions and just lay there. He said, "I'm gonna fight through all of this shit. I'm gonna try to sub you." He almost had his ass out in the first round.
In the first and at the end.
Yeah,
hey, more time with that knee bar, bruh.
He would have had no knees.
He would have had no knees, or you gonna tap. Yeah, that fight was absolutely exciting. If you guys missed it, go back and watch it, because I'm gonna keep my eye out for him, because that boy, definitely. When you talk about having that dog, he got that dog. Like, that dog wasn't gonna go down until like you finished him. I think even Mozart was kind of just like, dang, like
he's like, what's going on? I'm a ranked fighter, undefeated. What? I'm supposed to get this guy out of here, and he's giving me a challenge right now. Hey, and that's what I say. If you in the fucking octagon, anything could fucking happen. You don't know what's gonna go on. This guy stepped in short notice and gave his all.
Facts.
And that's what I be saying. Y'all be counting motherfuckers out. Anybody could be beat. Anybody. He lost the fight. Yeah. But he put on the show, and he just earned a fan out of me. So I'm gonna be keeping my eye on him.
Any fighter on any night can be beat. The greatest of all time can get dropped. Like, it's a fist fight. Speaking of that, Jessica Andrade versus Yang Zhenao. I felt like this was an early stoppage.
I don't think so. I think it was properly stopped. She was going to continue to rain down those hammer fists.
But Jessica was still there. Like, her eyes were 100% open. You don't think so?
No, because I think when she dropped, her head hit the ground hard as fuck too. That's what was more concerning. The strike, and then the head on the canvas, and then she got her 2 hammer fists in too. So I was just like, it was probably enough for me. Yeah, that was the first round too. With a minute and a half.
Yeah, I would have liked to seen it go just a little bit longer, because I mean, we've seen, no, honestly, like, because I was looking at her eyes like in a slow mo, and I didn't see her like do the whole like staring off somewhere else, like she was still looking at her, and when the referee stepped in, she was following the referee. So I don't know, but it is what it is. You know, they might do her versus Yan versus Weili. I'm still gonna favor Weili.
That'll be so fun. Me too, but I think that's something that needs to happen. I think a lot of eyes will be on that fight.
Yeah, and where is Rose?
She was in Denver. Yeah. She was at the one fights.
Yeah, I seen her in there, but like, come on, Rose. Like, y'all know Rose is super sensitive and stuff, and she lost that fight, and you know, she's just like, I don't know. Like, I know, like, after the whole Carla fight, she was super down on herself and all of that, and we get it. And then you went and had that grappling match, but like, somebody needs to remind Rose of who the fuck she is. Like, she's still Thug Rose. Like, just because you had with Carla Esparza doesn't mean that you're not who you've always been. Like, you're a 2-time champion. The girl's a monster. She has great striking. Like, hey, come on up out of hiding.
Come on out. Yup.
Like, I know that the MMA community is just a whole bunch of like stupid ass people, but there are some good fans that are out there that want to see Rose, get back in there. She has 2 wins over Zhang Weili. Like, hey, come out and yeah.
Get ready to go. We can't
Yeah.
just throw people away just because they lose. And I tell people all that all the time. Just because they lose, don't just. She's a 2-time champ. Like, we can't throw her away like that, man.
Facts.
But she does need to get back in the cage and fight somebody. It's been a long ass time.
Yeah, it's been too long. So yeah, I definitely want to see her somewhere soon. Pop out, fight somebody. But let's go ahead and get into it. This is where y'all gonna hate me. Y'all about to hate because how many days and weeks have we been going over Belal Muhammad versus Gilbert Burns, right? Y'all was saying Belal had no chance. Somebody said that somebody on TikTok was like, Gilbert Burns had to slip and fall on a banana peel in order to win. Like, y'all was just acting like Gilbert was going to go inside there, knock Belal out, finish him, kill him. And what happened?
Yeah, you know what? The motherfuckers be using all these definitive words. I was wishy-washy on both of them. I picked Burns because I'm a fan and I like him as a person more than Belal. But what we've been doing, Scott, for the past, 3-4 months, we're like, bro, Belal needs his shot. He shouldn't even have to fucking take this fight.
Shouldn't.
Now nobody has nothing to say. Jace, now what? You now still hating on this guy? Like, bro, he beat Gilbert's ass.
Yeah, he still was like, he's boring. First of all, let's say Jace couldn't be here because he's at work, and neither could Damien. They're out. So, but yeah.
He did what he has to do. He keeps winning, and I am not like a Belal fan to be like, yeah, he's my favorite. But if somebody's doing what the fuck they doing right in the company, at least give him a shot, bro.
Yeah.
And it's gonna suck because Dane's gonna be like, nah, man, you're gonna have to fight Shavkat too now.
Right. I swear to, if they do that, I'm losing it.
That'd be so bad, man.
Like, y'all know on this pod, I've been complaining and bitching and moaning about Belal Muhammad. Like once again, like CJ said, I'm not a Belal fan. Like, no. But y'all have forced me to be. Y'all have forced me to take this role because of how y'all hate on him, talk about him, and act like he wasn't there. Like, literally, he's on a 10-fight win streak. But he was on a 9-fight win streak, and you had the champion, everyone else talking about, oh, there's no clear contenders. Yes, the fuck there is. There has been. And now he's here. He got through Gilbert Burns, which, like I was saying on the pod, I was like, if I was betting money, I would have bet on Burns just based off of what we had seen from Burns. Mm-hmm. Like, we knew what he could do. But I was rooting and going actively for Belal Muhammad, and Belal went inside there and made it look easy. Now you have the fanboys coming out talking about, yeah, but Gilbert got hurt. Gilbert got hurt in the fight because of the takedown, right? Belal came in with an injury. You start seeing pictures on social media of his ankle all swollen up. Like, he came in with an injury, didn't complain, showed up, was kicking Gilbert Burns' arm off. Arm off.
I've never seen him kick like that before.
Yeah.
Never in any fights like that. That was beautiful. I've never seen him fight the way he fought that time. And that's what we always talk about too, evolving as a fighter. He TKO'd Brady in his last fight. He came out here and showed another wrinkle in this game that we ain't never seen before with those kicks. And they weren't like awkward, weird kicks. You know, Mo be judging people on people's kicks because she's a karate girl. And she was like, yeah, these kicks are amazing. And they were pinpoint accurate, right on his arms every single time. And he was banging them. So, you know what? Shout out to Belal. And I was talking to people and I was like, man, Gilbert's body's been through a lot. 3 fights in 5 months? Mm-hmm. Dehydrating your body, coming and fighting. And they're like, oh, he beat Neil super fast. It's not about the fights. The fights is what? 15 to 25. It's the training camps. It's the man. I just traveled from Denver back to San Diego, and I'm tired as fuck. Yes, I'm a regular ass human, but that y'all don't put that kind of shit into play as well. You know that it's a lot on someone's body. So, and I know Gilbert's body has been through a lot right now. It's worn down. It's tore up. He just fought Masvidal a month ago. Yeah, he beat him up, but guess what? He was getting hit. His body was getting banged up a little bit too. You can't just take all of that shit on your body and just take another fight short notice and think you're gonna be 100% there. So, you know, and I hope all of y'all motherfuckers just don't throw Gilbert away either. Right. Like, bro's still a good fighter. He was just had a very bad off night.
Yeah, and like we were saying earlier, like on any given night, you can get you like. He looked dejected. He looked like Leon
Yes.
Edwards against Kamaru. And I seen people like chatting about the fact that like, oh, yeah, but Belal should have went harder and really tried to Filbert Burns. Really try to finish him. How? Did y'all see that when Belal would get close and start pressuring up against the cage, Burns was throwing some fucking haymakers. You get caught once and it's a wrap. And y'all would have been more than happy to see Belal get knocked the hell out. No, be smart, be tactical, understand what's going on inside there. Yeah, I the whole time I was watching it, I was like, no, I felt like Gilbert was trying to lure him in and get him to push him up against the cage so that Burns could, potentially try to hit him with something nasty. And Burns landed he landed one shot. I think it was like the 4th or 5th round, and I was like, oh, get him out of there. Yeah.
He cracked him.
Hey, that boy got a chin.
He ate that much. He ate it too. I was like, and the thing is, you look at Belal, he's a big body, big wide back, and he's a big strong guy. Gilbert almost got a takedown earlier. He said, hell nah, stuff that shit. Belal might be a problem, y'all. He might be a problem.
I know y'all don't like him, but hey, we've seen crazier things. So he's gonna fight Kobe or Leon. And I know regardless of which one he fights, people going to talk crap about that. People going to say, but all I'm going to say is, like we talked about in the pod last week, like I said, keep your mind open. Stop living in the past with these fighters. Stop talking about, oh, they barely beat this person or they barely did this or they barely, or whatever it is that y'all have of like, look at these people just on paper and look at their work. Stop attaching their names and their person with all of that, because Belal could come up in here and win the championship. We don't know. Do I think it's going to happen? No, but it's 100% possible.
It's possible.
He's beating people he shouldn't be beating.
He's going to be the spoiler of the party if y'all keep giving him a shot. Look they keep throwing people at him, He taking them out. Like, who made Gilbert Burns look like that? Now, granted, Kamaru finished him, right? But even in that, Gilbert had moments. Gilbert almost got Kamaru out of there in the first minute. Who he looked that, and even in the corner with his injury, you know what I mean? Like, even at the end of the rounds, he was just like, he almost wanted to quit. Like, that's what it looked like to me, that he was just like, oh man, I don't really want to go out there again. Like, his arm was jacked up. But yeah, shout out to Belal Muhammad. He'll be fighting next. So y'all haters can just go ahead and stop it. And then let's get on to the main event. How did you originally score it at the end of the fight? I had it 3. First of all, we ain't gonna just get into it. Shout out to the motherfucker. Look at my light
going crazy back
there. We turned up. It's turned up. It's turned up. That's the and still. Wagwan, man. Yes, and still. But I'm gonna say this too. I love the fucking fight. I love the fight. These are two technical guys. I know some people are like, oh, it was boring or whatever the fuck. I love the fight. The grappling was there. The striking was there. He got taken down. He got back up. I think I'm getting into my era where I'm liking just highly skilled type fights. But I had it 3-2. I just finished watching it again. I had it 1 Sterling, 3 Sterling, 4 Sterling, and 2 pretty close. 2 was very, very, very close on the second watch. There was no big moments for either fighter. But if you want to give that to Henry, you can give it to him. And then the 5th round to Henry. But also, I just finished again. Aljo cracked him with some good shots in there. But I thoroughly enjoyed that fight. How you feel about it?
As soon as it was over, I think I texted you, I texted Damien, and I was like, Aljo won this fight as long as the judges don't be on no bullshit. Yes. Like, cause you never know. And when they said Henry, I was like, oh hell.
Me too. I said, oh shit, like, here we go. I was like, fuck.
And I'm like, ain't no way. And then Aljamain won instantly. I called Jace and I'm like, what now? He's like, Henry Cejudo won that fight 4-1. Bro.
4-1?
Listen, that's what he said. I can't wait until the podcast. We record the podcast in a couple of days, because this man said 4-1.
See, you know what? This nigga Jace, he be just stuck in his ways.
He really does.
We gotta be able to be open minded and take shit in, bro. 4-1, 4-1.
I'm like, how? Not only did Aljo have more takedowns, he outstruck him in every single round. I think maybe for like 1 round. Like, how?
And that was by 2 strikes. I got the motherfucking numbers right here.
I'm gonna pull them up on screen
Four to
right now.
one is crazy. 3-2 is the closest it could go.
Hey, and if y'all
Man,
don't know, Jace is my brother. I love him, but boy, we very different. We are different. He be doing this
very
thing.
different, but very alike as well.
Exactly. So if we look at it, yeah, we be getting out our body like yeah. When I was editing the clip from the last podcast, and I told him to shut up, I was like, dang, I called him the other day, and I was like, oh, I'm sorry. He was like, oh, anything that happens on the pod stays on the pod. I don't care.
It makes for good. It makes because his face. He said, and then I said,
And I didn't get a chance to get Damien's face in there. Damien just blinked. He was like, okay. I was like, oh man, y'all got me
man,
out here looking like Stephen A. Smith. But if we look at the numbers, like even if we look at it per round, so in total strikes, Aljo outstruck him 186 to 143, right? Significant strikes, Aljo outstruck him 135 to 99. As we look at the rounds, in round number 1, Henry Cejudo landed 7 significant strikes to Aljo's 20.
20, yep.
So I don't even know how y'all could possibly even get at to him. In the second round, it was much more close. So we had 29 to 31 for significant with no takedowns or anything happening there. In the third round, 26 to 15 in significant strikes and 45 to 38 in total strikes, right? And then 36 strikes in the fourth round to 19 to Henry Cejudo. And if we look at just total strikes, not even significance, he outstruck him 52 to 24 in that first round. So just total strikes. And then in the fourth round, it's close again. 24 to 27 is significant, and 31 to 35 in total strikes. Like what? And then when we look, then once again, Aljo had 4 takedowns. Henry had 3. As far as overall control time, Henry had a little bit. He had a minute more at 5:06, and Aljamain had 4. But like when that fight was over, there was no part of me that thought that Henry won the fight.
I felt the same way. I felt like it was a close, high level fight, but I didn't think Henry had did enough to be like, oh, I have it 4-1 or 3-2 to Henry. Where the rounds like that second round, you can give that round to Aljo and not be wrong, or you could give it to Henry and still not be wrong either. Like I said, I just finished watching it, and it's determined about what you see more, and like to me, I was like Aljo had kind of better moments to me in that round. Yeah. Yeah. But I'll give it to Henry if you guys want to do that. But to me, it was still 3-2, maybe 4-1. But like I said, I don't give a fuck with y'all. And the thing is, like, I have a little Discord and shit, and everybody's on some hater shit. If y'all don't like a motherfucker, just say y'all don't like him, and I'm going to be biased, and we'll understand that shit. And I'll be like, I know where y'all at. But the number, men lie, women lie, numbers can be manipulated. But what's the point of having stats if y'all not gonna look at them? Exactly. Don't be that person to be like, oh, the stats are fake. Then what the fuck are we doing? What are we doing? Why would we even look at that kind of stuff?
And why are they fake when you look at them?
Exactly.
When they go against what you want.
Now the numbers don't make sense. Now the numbers are lying. So what's the point? You know what I mean, guys? We gotta just. It is what it is. We gotta take this fight as a great fight between two. And I don't even fucking like Henry Cejudo. And I seen how he was fighting when the first 2.5 rounds, his engine wasn't going yet. He couldn't get started because that was that ring rust that he had. He was kind of unsure of himself. And then Aljo was pushing the pace. He was coming at him in the first round. He was in his face all day long in the first round. And Henry was like, damn, man, I got to get started. But these were 2 great fighters. We got to give Aljo his respect, man. We can't keep continuing to put caveats on his wins. That fucking sucks, man. We can't do that.
And what did I say in the pod last week? I said, and if it's a close fight and Aljo wins, what y'all gonna say? Y'all never gonna stop because y'all just can't appreciate him. And real quick before we even get into Aljo, going to the media scores, every single media member except for 2 gave it, and that's just Paul Fontaine is both for Wrestling Observer and MMA Media, right? So that's only one. That's really only one person out of all the media gave it to Cejudo, right? So Sterling, they felt like Sterling won across the board. Listen, just stop. When you watch that fight, the first thing I thought was Aljo's was better on the feet than I thought he was, because I thought that Henry would be too fast and would pick him apart and potentially knock him out. I thought that Aljo looked much better than I thought he would, than we've seen him do, right? Towards the end of the fight, he started doing that weird striking shit that was just kind of like, all right, bruh. All right, like now you pushing it.
You're doing a little too much.
Right, you're doing too much now. And I think that Henry, I know people are saying, oh, Henry to look good. Y'all need to go back and watch old Henry fights, like for real, for real. That was not Henry Cejudo from 3 years ago. Now, did he still look good? Absolutely. Yes. Mm-hmm. But that wasn't Henry that I thought was going to come out. Mm-hmm. You know, I really did expect Henry Cejudo to dominate the fight because of his skill set. But like, once again, I was rooting for Aljamain because y'all hate on him. Like, y'all have made me go inside this position of being an Aljo fan, even though I don't want to be, just because y'all just hate on him for no reason. It's like, he went out there, he did his thing. The one thing I want to start, that I hope that Aljamain just like watches and pays attention to: stop shooting without setting it up. Just oh, the whole 5th round, I'm literally chanting at the TV saying, if you shoot, you're going to sleep. Because Henry was going to time another knee. He almost got caught in that 5th round. And then at the last minute, I was like, if you shoot again, just blanket, just jumping into somebody's leg, you're going to go to sleep.
I said the same exact thing. Because even when he was getting out of his strikes, he would leave his head down. I'm like, fuck, it's going to be another Kamaru or another Dominic Cruz. Because I seen the shit, so I know Henry seen the shit, and he's way smarter than I am. But I was saying the same thing. I was like, he did a 1-2 strike and then shot on him, but he couldn't get the takedown. But I was like, man, you can't just. And he was like shooting from way on the outside, was setting nothing up, no leg kicks to get on the inside. But you know, he did great in the grappling in the first round. Like I said, he took his back for it wasn't a full back take, but he had his back for a whole minute of control time at the end of that round. Yeah. His legs kick. I wish he worked his leg kicks a lot more, but the leg kicks were there. When he got in the clinch, beautiful knees to the body. He was cracking them with knees into the body. Yeah. So I felt like he did enough that he did to win the fight. And if y'all don't like it out there in internet world, hey man, and still.
Hey, if y'all want to be haters, y'all just gonna be haters. That just is what it is at this point. Like, Aljamain came out there, he got it done against Henry Cejudo. Like just stop. And if we're really being real, once again, nobody felt like Henry Cejudo beat DJ in that close split decision. You know what I mean? So like, all of a sudden now Henry Cejudo's a guy. Like, y'all thought that was gonna be the guy. Now, speaking of that, shout out to you know, they did the whole little stare down with Sean O'Malley. How you think that's gonna look?
I think Aljo gets him out of there too. Not like that, probably like a certain kind of win like this, but with more control time. But also, you know, O'Malley's not a chump on the ground. He has great jiu-jitsu and stuff, and he's an athletic person. It's not like, I don't think he's gonna just get down there and stay down for too long. But I think Aljo has enough strength to be able to control him. But my favorite part of that whole thing is Merab. Merab is a fucking menace, man. He is a menace to society, bro. I love Merab. I know people hate Merab, but I feel like he's a cool ass person.
Hey, Merab picked up the little jacket and was like, hey.
He is a menace. But yeah, that's I hope they do get that fight going. And like I said, I like O'Malley. But hopefully Aljo can win that fight. And then y'all really can't say nothing to him.
Oh, y'all gonna be big mad.
You know, that's another feather in his cap.
You know, for me, you know, I'm excited for that. And that's one thing, like, I know people are trying to push this whole thing of like, oh, no, they need to fight. But it's like, no, let these people be at this point. Like, for real, let these people be. They don't want to fight each other. You got to respect it. You see how, like, when Aljo realized that Sean O'Malley was over there chirping, he went over there and was like, hey, don't do that. Don't do that. So, you know, I don't want to see them fight. I kind of like there being lines and respect of like your training partner, especially like not just like a random training partner, but like somebody you done went to their house, ate with their family, then it came to your house, ate with your family, like y'all travel in the world together, like y'all really have created this bond. Y'all been living with each
Yeah.
other for 10 years. You know what I'm saying? Like I like
That's
that
your
there's a
man's.
level. Yeah, I like
Mm-hmm.
that there's that level of respect because there isn't much respect, especially like in with the UFC fighters, like, you know, just as like people, you know what I mean? And then once again, like you have Merab coming out talking about Aljo wins in practice. Like, what else do y'all need to hear and see? Just because y'all see Merab and y'all think that Merab's skill set is better than Aljo, so y'all like, oh man, Merab's gonna get him out of there. If a man is telling you that another man is beating him, what do y'all need to
Believe
hear?
it. Hey, believe it.
What, they in
Believe
there
it.
together. He could
And
have
what's
been
gonna
like your
happen with their camp? They're just gonna split the whole camp in half.
exactly. He could have been like your, you know, what's his name? Like he could have been like Judas, Gilbert Burns, because that's what Gilbert did. Y'all like to forget that and just act like, oh, Gilbert's this cool guy. No. Gilbert, who had been training and eating, hanging out with Kamaru, all of a sudden was like, yeah, I'm gonna need that belt, buddy. I'm gonna need that belt, and went inside there and got humbled. And then Kamaru, being the man that he is, still went back and was like, hey, you'll be all right. You'll come back.
Mm-hmm.
Still goes back over there. You know what I mean? So stop trying to push that narrative that they need to fight. Let them people be. Hey, if Merab is cool with it,
Yeah,
you
he'll
know,
get a shot. So like you said, if he fights O'Malley and he beats O'Malley, and then he goes up to 45, and he just leaves the belt there, Marab has a chance to do what he needs to do to take the belt.
I'm gonna tell you
If
right
that's the
now.
case.
I don't know about him up there at 145.
Oh no, hell no. Me neither.
Bruh.
Hey, me
Bruh.
neither. But if that's the choice you want to make, my good sir, do what you got. Do what
Sir.
you got to do.
Now you're gonna have to tighten up with that striking. You're gonna have to
Yes.
tighten up. At
Yeah, because
145,
45.
like imagine, you know, if he's a former champ, he's coming in, either he's fighting Volkanovski or Yair, or he's fighting Max Holloway, or he's fighting Brian Ortega. I would love to see him versus Ortega. Let me just say, like 2 jiu-jitsu specialists in there, but they're so much bigger and their
So
striking
much
is so much
bigger.
better that like I don't see that being a good matchup. I don't see anybody like having a
Because
bad matchup against him.
we just seen Mosvar is at 45 right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
And dude's tough. And he's ranked
Yeah.
15, you know? It's just
Mm-hmm.
bigger bodies. And I know Aljo's big as well, but that's what 5'7", 5'8" coming against guys that's 5'10", 5'11". Max is what 5'10", 5'11".
5'11", yeah.
Yeah, you know, but framed for that size. So
Yeah.
it'll be, I don't think it's the same type of moving up and you think you're going to have the same amount of success that you do at
Yeah.
35. You're not going to be able to move those guys around the same way. Like,
Mm-mm.
even like a dude like Josh Emmett, I'm not saying Aljo can't beat him, but it's a tough fight. The dude is just a bigger body to be
Yeah.
able to move around.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know how that's gonna look, but you know, we'll get there when we get there. You know, shout out to Sean O'Malley. I think, like we say, everybody has an opportunity with the way that
Mm-hmm.
he shoots in, with the way that Aljo shoots in, and the type of striker that Sean O'Malley is. Like he
Mm-hmm.
could get him out of there. He could knock him out cold. You
Mm-hmm.
know, we'll see. I'm excited for that fight. I just hope that like at this point, y'all really just start to put some respect on his name and quit
Just a
playing.
little bit. You
Yeah.
don't have to be his fan, but
No.
don't disrespect him. Just give him like, yo, he's a champ. He did a great job, and just move on. Don't y'all motherfuckers ain't gotta be haters your whole damn life.
Your whole life, I'm telling you. But you know,
Fuck.
we'll see. That was 288. Next weekend is Jalton Almeida, but we'll talk about all of that on next week's podcast, and we'll still talk about this with Jason Damien. But before we go, the shirts are dropping next week. Y'all some shirts too. You know, rocking the Mexican champions. You know, they're nice.
That's so
They're
fire.
nice. Yeah. So when they drop, y'all make sure y'all get them. One thing that we are gonna do is people that buy the shirts the first week, y'all will be able to come on the podcast. Come on the podcast and talk y'all shit, because I know a lot of y'all. Y'all be coming from now. Listen, I love Jace. He is my brother. I know he be saying some outlandish shit, but he's still my brother.
Don't get it fucked up.
But y'all could be able to come on here and talk to him, because y'all be going hard in the comments on Jace. Some of them, like a couple of them, I was like, I'm gonna go ahead and delete this now. I'm getting out of here. But yeah. So next week the shirts will be dropping. Keep your eyes out on that. We'll also be back with the regular podcast next week. And anything in closing?
Before I didn't shout out Stamp Fairtex too, and that's for Mo because she loved her some little stamp. She did
Hey, she
amazing
did her
too.
thing, didn't she?
Yeah,
She did
and
her
also
thing.
y'all, I think I'm a pre-order like 5 of these one FC because I had the hottest sweater in the motherfucking building. All the
Hey.
fighters like, where'd you get that? Where'd you get that? Man, special made shit. You ain't gonna have no sauce like CJ,
Hey.
baby. But yo, thank y'all for rocking with us. That's all I want to say, man. I'm telling y'all, there's 2 podcasts out there that I fuck with heavy. It's us, of course, Boisterous Boys as well, but we coming for everybody. That's it, plain and simple. We
Everybody.
the funnest motherfucking podcast in the game, plain and simple.
Period. We're new,
Oh,
fresh faces.
that's it. Once I get the pop into my shit, I'm still fresh in all of this shit. Wait till the confidence come. Oh,
Right. Right.
pause. Nah, but I'm just saying, y'all, we just having fun with this. Y'all, please enjoy watching the fights. Have fun watching the fights. Don't watch the fights to be right, y'all. Just have fun. Enjoy life, man. It's a beautiful sport. Enjoy
Hey,
it.
you know what? That's probably one of the best statements is just to sit back and enjoy the fight. Stop watching it just to be right. That's a great
Yeah.
point. Like just to appreciate a skill set.
Yeah.
Because a lot of these people, they're extremely talented. Sure, they may not win all the time, but
Mm-hmm.
and if you hate the grappling that much, right? Because y'all was booing. If y'all hate the grappling that much, watch kickboxing, watch Muay
Mm-hmm.
Thai. There
Mm-hmm.
are other sports that you can watch, but when you want to watch mixed martial arts,
It's a
that's the
part of it.
mix of all the martial arts. Like it's right there in the beginning. If y'all don't
Mm-hmm.
like that, stop watching it. You know what I mean? Somebody want to take somebody down. Hey, is it entertaining? No, but at the end of the day, if the person who's being taken down was that good, they get their ass back up, but they can't.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. And with that, we are out for this week's Sunday Hangover edition. We will be back on Wednesday morning. Every Wednesday morning, the pod drops. Make sure you guys come check us out. I'm pretty sure next week is going to be spicy because Jace is going to be on there talking reckless. I'm almost sure about it. But until then, we are out. Peace.